Disaster in the puppy parade. In the small town of Whiskerville, where every house boasted a string of twinkling lights and the air was always filled with the scent of cinnamon and pine, the annual Christmas puppy parade was the highlight of the season. This year, Emily and her younger brother Oliver were bubbling with excitement. It was the first time they were allowed to lead the parade with their Aunt Clara, who had just returned from a world of adventures. The town square was bustling with preparations. Vendors selling hot cocoa and gingerbread cookies lined the streets, while parade floats adorned with ribbons and shiny baubles were being set up. The sound of laughter and festive music filled the air, creating a perfect backdrop for what was meant to be the most enchanting event of the year. Aunt Clara, a sprightly woman with a twinkle in her eye, was overseeing the decoration of the main float. This float was special, as it carried the star of the show, a giant inflatable Santa Claus, and a sleigh filled with playful puppies wearing tiny Santa hats and jingle bell collars. "Remember, Emily and Oliver, today is about bringing joy and magic," Aunt Clara reminded them, handing them each a leash attached to a pair of enthusiastic puppies. Just as the parade was about to begin, with the first notes of jingle bells ringing through the air, disaster struck. A sudden gust of wind swept through the square, sending hats flying and chilling the merry crowd. More alarmingly, it caused the giant Santa to wobble dangerously. Before anyone could react, Santa began to deflate, his jolly red figure crumpling into a forlorn heap. The crowd gasped, and the puppies, sensing the excitement, started to scatter in all directions, tugging at their leashes with gleeful abandon. Emily clutched her leash tightly as her puppy, a spirited golden retriever, tried to chase a rolling ornament. Beside her, Oliver was struggling to calm a pair of dachshunds who had decided it was the perfect time for a tug-of-war. "Oh no, what are we going to do?" Emily cried out, looking around for Aunt Clara. From across the square, Aunt Clara's voice rose above the commotion, her commanding yet cheerful tone directing the parade volunteers to action. "Gather round, everyone. We have a parade to save." Her confidence was infectious, and soon the initial panic gave way to a flurry of activity. As the children and townspeople rallied to her side, Aunt Clara began to outline a plan to rescue the parade. "Oliver, Emily, you two are in charge of rounding up the puppies. I'll see to Santa." The town square, once filled with the harmonious sounds of holiday cheer, now echoed with the barks and yelps of dozens of mischievous puppies. Emily and Oliver, determined to lead by example, grabbed extra leashes from the supply cart and darted after the playful escapees. Oliver, slightly out of breath but smiling, managed to corral a trio of beagles back to their festive float, while Emily negotiated with a stubborn pug that had found a particularly interesting spot to sniff. Meanwhile, Aunt Clara was addressing the deflated Santa situation. With the help of some resourceful teenagers, she patched up a tear with duct tape and reconnected the air pump. However, just as Santa began to rise again, a small hiccup with the generator caused the lights adorning the nearby trees to flicker and dim. Without missing a beat, Aunt Clara rerouted power from a less essential area to ensure the spotlight stayed on Santa, reviving the parade's central attraction. Back with the puppies, Emily and Oliver were learning that teamwork was more than just a strategy. It was necessary for success. They devised a game to make the puppies think that returning to their designated spots was a parade activity. "Follow the leader," Emily called playfully. leading a line of puppies through a makeshift obstacle course that looped back to their float. The town's children, seeing the fun, joined in, helping to guide the puppies with gentle hands and lots of giggles. Just as things seemed to be smoothing out, another gust of wind threatened the parade's banners and decorations. Quick to react, Oliver organized a group of volunteers to secure loose items, while Emily communicated with Aunt Clara via walkie-talkie to keep her updated. Every minute was crucial, and their coordinated efforts began to show results. The decorations held fast. Santa towered jolly and tall once more, and the puppies, now the stars of their own parade game, paraded obediently. Amidst this chaos, Aunt Clara's experience and guidance shone like a beacon. She maneuvered through each crisis with a calm surety that inspired everyone around her. "Every challenge is just an opportunity in disguise," she would say, chuckling as she handed out treats to the helpful puppies and their young wranglers. As the final touches were made and the parade finally began its march through the main street of Whiskerville, Emily, Oliver, and the rest of the town felt a renewed sense of pride and joy. The parade, though nearly a disaster, had become a testament to their community's spirit and resilience. As the parade finally made its grand procession down the main street of Whiskerville, the entire town cheered with a mixture of relief and jubilation. Aunt Clara, standing proudly at the front, led the march with a newly inflated Santa bobbing merrily above her head. Emily and Oliver, each leading a small brigade of puppies, beamed with pride. Their quick thinking and teamwork had transformed what could have been a parade disaster into a spectacular showcase of community and spirit. The puppies, now the uncontested stars of the parade, pranced along, decked in their festive gear, eliciting waves of laughter and applause from the gathered crowd. The inventive puppy game had not only saved the day, but had added an unexpected and delightful twist to the traditional parade. Children along the route were already mimicking the game, promising a new tradition for future parades. As the parade wound its way through the town, passing the glittering shop windows and cozy, decorated homes, Emily and Oliver took a moment to soak it all in. "We really did it, didn't we?" Emily said, watching a group of toddlers giggling as a puppy licked their faces. Oliver nodded. "We couldn't have done it without Aunt Clara. She knew just what to do." Indeed, Aunt Clara was receiving her share of hugs and thankful gestures from the townspeople. Her knack for turning chaos into order with a smile had made her a beloved figure. As the parade concluded by the giant Christmas tree in the town square, she gathered Emily and Oliver close. "You see," she said, wrapping an arm around each, "the best adventures happen when things don't go as planned. You find real magic when you work together to fix them." The crowd gathered for the lighting of the tree, and as the lights twinkled to life, reflecting in the wide eyes of children and the proud gazes of adults, the true spirit of Christmas filled the air. The day had started with a series of mishaps, but thanks to the courage and cleverness of two young siblings and their remarkable aunt, it ended with laughter, unity, and an unforgettable celebration.